I'm Zahir, Kelvin Abdullah, and this is Nightline. The top stories. Fighting between Thailand and Cambodia intensifies ahead of expected Trump calls. And fighting financial crime, Malaysia earns top rating from anti-money laundering body. Good morning. Renewed fighting between Thailand and Cambodia has entered its fourth day as deaths rise on both sides, with both countries trading accusations of breaking international law as they await a promised phone call from US President Donald Trump. The Thai military confirms 3 civilians were killed as heavy gunfire and shelling continued overnight along the border, the first civilian deaths since the latest violence erupted. 8 soldiers have also been killed this week, with about 80 others injured. Meanwhile, the military said Cambodian forces fired more than 80 rockets into Ta Praya in Sao Keo province on Wednesday. Cambodian troops were also reported to have fired over 20 more rockets into Kok Sung, damaging homes and farmland. Following this, Thai authorities have imposed a nighttime curfew in parts of Sao Keo from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. Since fighting fled on December 7th, at least 19 people have been killed and nearly 90 injured, with more than 500,000 residents have been displaced. Meanwhile, on the Cambodian side of the border, 10 civilians, including an infant, have been killed, with about 60 others injured. Cambodia's defense ministry has accused the Thai military of launching a series of attacks in the early hours of Thursday, alleging that tanks, artillery and an F-16 jet were used to strike targets in Pursat, Bante Myenche and Oda Myenche provinces. The ministry claimed that in one incident, Thai troops breached international humanitarian law by firing on civilians in Prey Chan village. In another, it said Thai forces shelled the Kana temple area and used artillery and support fire in the Osmach region. In the meantime, Malaysia continues to urge Thailand and Cambodia to return to diplomatic channels in order to end the fighting between the two nations. The message was conveyed by Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi during a meeting with Thai Prime Minister Anutin Chan Virakul in Bangkok. The official meeting took place on the sidelines of the 14th ASEAN Ministers' meeting on rural development and poverty eradication. Zahid emphasized that Malaysia is deeply concerned about the conflict and hopes that efforts towards a peaceful resolution can be expedited.
Namun kedua-dua pihak mesti menghormati, benar-benar menghormatilah apa yang telah sama-sama disetujukan, dan sebagai negara anggota ASEAN kita tidak akan pernah campur di dalam urusan ini, namun kita mahu ASEAN menjadi stabil semula dan menjadi rantau yang aman.
Malaysia also expressed hope that Thailand and Cambodia will fully implement the Kuala Lumpur Peace Accord to ensure the safety of residents along the border between the two nations. During the meeting, both leaders highlighted their commitment to strengthening cross-border disaster preparedness and response cooperation, including collaboration in the field of technical and vocational education and training, TVET. Malaysia has been elevated to the top regular follow-up category by the Financial Action Task Force, or FATF, the international body that sets global standards to fight money laundering, terrorism and proliferation financing. The upgrade from the enhanced follow-up status assigned in 2015 reflects stronger safeguards across Malaysia's financial system, placing the country among a select group of jurisdictions recognized for high levels of effectiveness. Only 11 countries achieved this tier in the previous evaluation round. According to the Mutual Evaluation Report, or MER 2025, Malaysia has made substantial strides over the past decade through strengthened legislation, improved supervisory frameworks, and more effective coordination among domestic agencies. The report said Malaysia has a sound understanding of its money laundering and terrorism financing risks, supported by regular national risk assessments and data-driven analysis. The report added that a notable strength of Malaysia's anti-money laundering, counter-financing of terrorism and counter-proliferation financing framework is its strong domestic coordination and cooperation mechanisms. The MER 2025 also highlighted improved effectiveness in several areas, including financial intelligence, supervision of financial institutions, and targeted financial sanctions for terrorism and proliferation financing. The reforms undertaken in the wake of the 1MDB scandal were cited as a key catalyst for better governance, enforcement, and asset recovery. Looking ahead, the MER 2025 sets out key recommendations for Malaysia to further enhance its AML, CFT, and CPF regime. Malaysia will be required to report progress on these measures to the FATF in 2029. Small traders and micro entrepreneurs must be prioritized in all railway station development projects, particularly in rural areas. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said new railway stations will not only improve transport infrastructure but also serve as local economic hubs. On Thursday, Anwar attended the launch of the Gemas-Johor Bahru electrified double-track rail line, which was officiated by the region of Johor, Tunku Mahkota Ismail, at the new Kempas Bahru station. In his speech, Anwar emphasized that the Madani economic approach centers on boosting the people's incomes and promoting comprehensive, inclusive development.
Bila ada stesen-stesen yang banyak, maka usaha kerajaan persekutuan dan jentera kementerian bersama kerajaan negeri ialah memastikan pembangunan stesen-stesen di kota-kota kecil itu dapat dipesatkan dan dapat memastikan pengagihan supaya penyertaan rakyat termasuk peniaga kecil itu terjamin.
He also said that Johor, which is currently recording strong economic performance with investments approaching 100 billion ringgit, should leverage the smaller railway stations across the network. The 192-kilometre railway project involves the construction of 11 new stations, each designed to reflect Johor's identity and heritage. The project spans 4 key districts, Segamat, Kluang, Kulai and Johor Bahru, with the line ending at JB Central. At the same event, the Prime Minister elaborated on his government's approach to identify projects and programs needed at the state level. According to him, strong collaboration between the federal and state governments ensures that planned developments achieve their intended objectives.
Kelainan kita sekali lagi ialah bahawa inilah kali pertama dalam sejarah di mana pimpinan pusat turun ke negeri-negeri, ke semua negeri, mendengar pandangan, cadangan, teguran dari pimpinan negeri dan dari situlah kita sesuaikan beberapa program keutamaan. Kerana apa yang kita fikirkan keutamaan di Putrajaya tak semestinya memenuhi selera Johor, terutama Johor.
Setting a tiered price for RON 95 at RM2.10 or RM2.30 under the Budi Madani RON 95 program after the 300-litre quota has been used up will retain elements of inefficiency, as such a proposal may raise the risk of leakages and will not strengthen the government's fiscal position. Second Finance Minister Datuk Seri Amir Hamzah Azizan said the government will continue to closely monitor usage patterns and trends and re-evaluate the Budi 95 limit from time to time.
Bagi memastikan pelaksanaan dasar penyasaran subsidi RON 95 sentiasa dipahalusi dan diperkukuhkan demi manfaat rakyat Malaysia serta kelestarian fiskal negara.
Hamzah added that since the rollout of Budi 95, the average petrol consumption for private users was recorded at only 98 litres per month, 33% of the set monthly allocation of 300 litres. He also said the government will look at opportunities to improve and reconsider proposals submitted after there is sufficient data a year after the introduction of Budi 95. The government will provide cash assistance of 500 ringgit to each Indonesian student studying in Malaysia affected by the recent floods and landslides in their hometowns. The Prime Minister's office said the move is part of Malaysia's gesture of goodwill and close friendship with its neighbour. According to a statement by the Prime Minister's office on Thursday, affected Indonesian students can register with their respective educational institutions so that aid can be coordinated and distributed based on individual needs. The Malaysian government also extended its sympathies to the Republic and its people over the calamity in Aceh and North Sumatra, expressing solidarity with those enduring this difficult period. According to official data, cyclone-induced floods and landslides last week devastated 3 provinces on Indonesia's Sumatra Island, including Aceh, killing at least 940 people, with an additional 276 people listed as missing. In Sarawak, emergency services conducted a full-scale evacuation at a shopping complex in Kuching after flames broke out at the premises on Thursday morning. State Fire and Rescue Department received a distress call at about 11:40 a.m. and dispatched fire crews to the scene. The flames are believed to have originated from the first floor. Upon arrival, firefighters initiated suppression operations while coordinating with mall security to clear the premises. The retail complex is positioned about 5 kilometers from Kuching's city centre. No injuries were reported, while the cause of the fire is being investigated. The ringgit climbed to 4.10 against the US dollar at Thursday's close, marking its highest level in 4 years and 6 months. The gain follows the US Federal Reserve's interest rate cut for the 3rd time this year, putting downward pressure on the greenback. Bank Muamalat Chief Economist Muhammad Afzan Nizam Abdul Rashid said the move has weakened the US dollar following a nearly 0.5% decline in the dollar index. He explained that the gap between the federal funds rate and the overnight policy rate has continued to narrow, supporting the ringgit's strength. By the close, the local note had weakened against major currencies but strengthened against other ASEAN currencies. Malaysia has undertaken a series of structured initiatives to address climate change in a systematic and effective manner, including a comprehensive policy framework to guide the nation's climate response. Natural Resources and Environmental Sustainability Minister Datuk Sri Johari Abdul Ghani noted that last year the ministry launched the National Climate Change Policy 2.0, which includes a new regulatory instrument in the form of the proposed Climate Change Bill.
This relevant legislation set to be tabled in Parliament next year will enshrine accountability, transparency and ambition into law, ensuring that our climate commitments are not only aspirational but enforceable.
He was speaking at the launch of the Malaysia United Kingdom Cooperation Initiative on Climate Action, held in the capital on Thursday. Johari added that the bill will introduce a compliance carbon market aimed at embedding sustainability into major economic decision-making through carbon pricing mechanisms. Japan's powerful lower house approved a $118 billion extra budget on Thursday to pay for Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi's aggressive spending plans, which include anti-inflation measures and a boost to Japan's military. It passed the chamber after 3 independent lawmakers agreed last month to work with the ruling Liberal Democratic Party, giving Takaichi the legislative majority she needs to pass bills. The budget, which will be forwarded to the upper house, where Takaichi's coalition still falls short of the majority, is designed to pay for $137 billion stimulus that was announced last month, including energy subsidies, cash handouts, and investment initiatives in key fields. Japan already has the biggest ratio of debt to gross domestic product among major economies, projected to reach 232.7% this year. Armed Forces member killed, 4 more hurt in deadly collision. Well, this and more after this breather.
Belajar kini lebih semangat dengan TV Tuition. Lebih 5,000 video pembelajaran, lebih 100 hos hebat, terdiri daripada selebriti dan guru berpengalaman. Ulang kaji jadi lebih seronok dengan lebih 10,000 soalan latihan serta ulasan guru yang membantu anda faham dengan cepat dan mudah. Apa tunggu lagi? Langgan sekarang dan stream ditonton. TV Tuition, belajar ditonton, bijak sampai lulus.
Hubungan songsang makin parah di Malaysia, wujudkan hukuman untuk kekal isu tidak bermoral ini. Masalah kesihatan berkaitan batu dalam badan, ketahui risiko dan rawatannya. Adim dah suka sangat main pickleball sebab dapat bergaul dengan ramai orang tau. Tapi Raya, kena hati-hati jangan sampai memudaratkan kereta ditenggelami air banjir. Apa yang perlu kita buat? Juga diskaun ihsan untuk penyelesaian awal sewa beli. Isnin hingga Jumaat jam 10 pagi, stream ditonton dan TV3.
Kalau kita seorang je perempuan dalam bidang tu yang ramai lelaki, saya rasa itu bukan satu kurangan bagi kita. Sebenarnya itu adalah kelebihan untuk kita. Jangan takut.
Walaupun mereka OKU, tak nak pelajar ni kena habis dan faham baru dia boleh bersaing dengan pelajar yang normal.
Kemahiran ni hari-hari kita guna pakai. Lagi mana terlibat dalam industri maritim ni, boleh jalan lah walaupun sukar. Dan TVET ni dia boleh menjamin masa depan.
Kanser tu dia naik daripada ke paru-paru. Yang menyebabkan kanser tu dia lagi merebak terus naik ke kepala. Menyebabkan saya jadi lumpuh satu seluruh badan. Macam saya ni hidup ni macam serupa mayat hidup lah. Fikiran saya time tu lah kan. Sebelum ni putus asa, rasa putus asa, rasa macam dah tak nak hidup, rasa macam tak apalah, Allah ambil je lah aku kan. Sebab tak mungkin nak buat apa lah. Rasa masa tengah terbaring tu lah.
You're watching Nightline. The Special Investigation Team established by the Royal Malaysia Police, PDRM, is applying its own established procedures and protocols in its probe into the fatal shooting of 3 men in Durian Tunggal, Melaka on November 24th. Home Minister Datuk Sri Saifuddin Nasution Ismail said the investigation will be thorough and guided by all available evidence and statements, including those from the police personnel involved in the operation.
Dan itu akan membawa kepada termasuklah pasukan polis yang terlibat dalam operasi itu, semuanya akan diambil. Itu adalah ruang lingkup dalam jawatankuasa siasatan yang telah diumum oleh pengarah. Yalah, saya takkan jump the gun.
Saifuddin said this after attending the Home Ministry's monthly assembly in Putrajaya on Thursday. He also gave his assurance that there will be no external interference in the investigation, noting that the case has been fully handed over to the special team. On Wednesday, PDRM confirmed receiving an audio recording allegedly linked to the shooting incident, which was handed over by the victims' family members, along with a mobile phone for further examination. Bukit Aman set up the special team on December 3rd following complaints from the families of the 3 suspects who expressed dissatisfaction with the police's handling of the operation. On November 24th, 3 men were shot dead after one of them allegedly slashed a police officer with a parang at an oil palm plantation in Melaka. The trio were believed to be members of Gang Durian Tunggal, a group which had allegedly been active since 2024. The Attorney General's Chambers will not be continuing with its appeal against Datin Sri Rosmah Manso's full acquittal in her money laundering and tax evasion case. The notice of discontinuation dated December 9th lacked details, only stating that the prosecution does not wish to pursue the appeal any further. The prosecution's move on Thursday is with regard to the then High Court Judge K. Munyandi's decision last December, which allowed Rosmah's application to strike out the charges and granted her a full acquittal. The High Court, in acquitting the 74-year-old, previously ruled that the charges were bad in law. In relation to the money laundering charges, Munyandi said they did not specify the key elements of a money laundering offence. As for the tax evasion charges, the court said there was an overlap with the first 12 charges, which accounts for multiplicity. Munyandi also said that failure to file a tax return is only a punishable offence once all avenues under the Income Tax Act 1967 have been exhausted, which was not done in Rosma's case. The trial for this case began on December 12 last year, with 2 witnesses taking the stand. With the appeal now discontinued, the High Court's decision stands final. In Kelantan, a Royal Malaysian Armed Forces member was killed and 4 others injured in a collision between a 5-ton military truck and a Proton Wira at Kampong Bukit Belah, Machang on Thursday afternoon. Machang Fire and Rescue Station Chief Ahmad Al-Farah Muhammad Zin said the emergency call was received at 6:51 p.m, prompting a team of 6 firefighters to be dispatched to the scene. Upon arrival, rescuers found 5 victims, including 4 military personnel. 3 armed forces members sustained injuries, while the driver of the Proton Wira was trapped in his seat with severe injuries. Another soldier was pronounced dead at the scene by Health Ministry personnel. All injured victims were rushed to hospital for further treatment. In Pulau Pinang, a man was arrested after he reported his wife's death to the police and revealed that she had been murdered 4 days earlier. A full post-mortem examination is expected to be conducted on Friday to determine the exact cause of her death. The 28-year-old man informed officers at the Seberang Jaya police station on Thursday that his wife had died in their second-floor apartment in Jalan Tuna. Police later discovered the 44-year-old victim's body in the back room of the couple's home with knife wounds to her neck. The suspect, who is unemployed, was arrested to facilitate investigations. It is understood that the deceased, who had 5 children from a previous marriage, had been married to the suspect for 2 years. Checks reveal that the suspect had a prior record with drug and criminal offences. Authorities are still determining the motive behind the incident. The investigation is being conducted under the Penal Code for murder. Panic ensues in North Jakarta school. The details when Nightline returns.
Awak tengok dia tu tergedik-gedik.
Itu manja ke manja?
Jom ikut saya pergi pasar malam.
Apa balik kuih goreng ni kari sedapnya.
Awak tengok berita ni. Ini ketagihan terlampau.
Adakah ini ada kaitan dengan psikologi?
Aduh, kadang-kadang rasa sakit dada lah.
Kena cek tu, jangan abaikan, kena ada pemeriksaan lanjut.
Nak mencuci, beli barang sekolah, nak puasa, nak raya, pening kepala.
Isu bajet keluarga kita bincangkan Jumaat ini.
Semuanya di WCI TV3.
Dan sekarang ditonton.
Kalau kita seorang je perempuan dalam bidang tu yang ramai lelaki, saya rasa itu bukan satu kurangan bagi kita. Sebenarnya itu adalah kelebihan untuk kita. Jangan takut.
Walaupun mereka OKU, tak nak pelajar ni kena habis dan faham baru dia boleh bersaing dengan pelajar yang normal.
Kemahiran ni hari-hari kita guna pakai. Lagi mana terlibat dalam industri maritim ni, boleh jalan lah walaupun sukar. Dan TVET ni dia boleh menjamin masa depan.
Wanita penuh tempo, penuh cerita. Inilah Nona, inspirasi bertemu realiti. Setiap warna mempunyai keupayaan membangkitkan pelbagai mood dan emosi. Semoga istirahat anda memberi makna yang indah walau tempohnya hanya seketika. Dan terus setia sejam bersama kami kerana Nona, inspirasi wanita untuk semua. Nona di TV3 dan stream ditonton.
Hubungan songsang makin parah di Malaysia. Wujudkan hukuman untuk kekal isu tidak bermoral ini. Masalah kesihatan berkaitan batu dalam badan, ketahui risiko dan rawatannya. Adim, dah suka sangat main pickleball sebab dapat bergaul dengan ramai orang tau. Tapi Daya, kena hati-hati jangan sampai memudaratkan kereta ditenggelami air banjir. Apa yang perlu kita buat? Juga diskaun ihsan untuk penyelesaian awal sewa beli. Isnin hingga Jumaat jam 10 pagi. Stream ditonton dan TV3.
We're back with news from the foreign front. At least 20 students and 1 teacher were injured after a van suddenly plowed into a school gathering in North Jakarta, Indonesia on Thursday. Authorities said the vehicle, believed to be part of the government's free nutritious meals program, lost control and crashed through the closed school gate before barreling into the schoolyard where dozens of students and staff were taking part in a literacy session. Witnesses described scenes of panic, with children and a teacher struck and some pinned under the vehicle, resulting in severe injuries. All victims were rushed to a nearby hospital, with several reported to be in serious condition. An investigation is underway to determine whether the crash was caused by driver error or mechanical failure. At least 31 people, including patients, were killed, while 70 others were injured after an airstrike by the country's military government hit a major hospital in western Myanmar. According to aid workers, the facility in Mrao U Township in Rakhine State was struck late on Wednesday when a military aircraft dropped several bombs, leaving the building completely destroyed. The strike comes as the junta intensifies its campaign ahead of Myanmar's December 28 election, touting the vote as an off-ramp to fighting. Rebels, however, have pledged to block it from territory they control, which the junta is battling to claw back. The military authorities have yet to comment on the attack. On to sports now, the 2025 Thailand SEA Games. It was a tough day for the national contingent as Malaysia could only bag one gold medal on Thursday, delivered by gymnast Rachel Yeo Lee. The latest results placed Malaysia outside the top 5 in the medal standings with a tally of 3 golds, 9 silvers and 18 bronzes. Rachel shone brightest for the team, producing a stunning error-free routine to reclaim her SEA Games title on the uneven bars. She scored 13.300 points to finish ahead of the Philippines' Hailey Garcia, while Singapore's Colleen Hong Kai Jia secured bronze. Malaysia also added 6 silvers, including from the team water ski slalom event, the men's karate squad, and the men's 87 kg taekwondo kyorugi division. Day 2 wrapped up with 7 bronzes, among them in men's basketball, the men's 50-meter freestyle and the team water ski wake surf event. Still on the Thailand SEA Games, Malaysia's hopes of reaching the men's football semi-finals hang by a thread after a 2-0 loss to Vietnam in their final Group B match at Raja Mangala Stadium on Thursday. The young Tigers needed only a draw to strengthen their chances, but trouble came early. Vietnam opened the scoring in the 11th minute when Nguyen Hue Minh capitalized on a hesitant clearance. Just 11 minutes later, Pham Minh Phúc finished off a quick Vietnamese break to make it 2-0. The defeat leaves Malaysia second in Group B with 3 points, a +1 goal difference and 4 goals scored, numbers that could still earn them the best runners-up spot. Only the 3 group winners and the best runners-up advanced to the semi-finals, meaning Malaysia's fate now rests on Friday's final Group C match between Indonesia and Myanmar. And that concludes Nightline this time around. Before we go, let's take a look at Afghanistan's Kandahar desert as dozens of drivers climb steep ochre dunes in their SUVs, kicking up rooster tails of sand to the delight of spectators. With that, I'm Zahir. Kelvin, Abdullah, thank you for watching and stay safe.